I'm an independent sales representative for Pioneer, a DuPont company. So I've been a Pioneer sales rep since 1993. Well, the interesting part about the Syngenta-Monsanto merger is it don't sound like it's going very well. With the Dow-DuPont merger is a very friendly deal. Everyone's really happy about it. Speculation and now going on Google and looking at it. I'm a DuPont stockholder, and we're supposed to, when the merger happens, Dow will have 1-to-1 shares, and the DuPont shares are supposed to be 1.28 for every one share. So we're going to see a 28% increase in shares. And if you're a DuPont stockholder, which is great, our shares have went up $16 in the last 2 months. This merger's been a great thing for the stockholders from Dow and DuPont. So it's been very friendly and very, everyone's pretty happy about it. Where the Monsanto-Syngenta merger is almost like a ruthless takeover. And I think that's how Syngenta feels, and that's why they're trying to not allow it to happen. So that's kind of my take on it. That's just me thinking that's me thinking as a stockholder and as Joe Farmer also. We need large companies, and people will poo-poo me on that, but large companies have large checkbooks and they spend a lot of money on research and development and bring out new products. That's why large companies are really good. We need multiple companies, because if you have one company that has it all, we have no control over the cost. The fertilizer's gotten that way. Potash, there's 3 potash companies in the world. So up until this year, they can name whatever the price they want and take it or leave it. Well, the good thing about what the farmers have done for like potash, we're not going to buy it. We'll figure out some way to get by and use minimal amounts and not buy it. And we've just held out. And the price of potash, MAP, nitrogen has all been declining in the last year because they had to. Because that competition in the market isn't as big as it used to be. So competition is good. We need to keep competition. But we need large companies because they do a lot of research and development. Look at the technology and what it's done in the last, myself in the last 23 years since I started selling seed. I seen the advent of Roundup Ready soybeans. I watched it. I seen, the insect traits, the Herculex, the corn borer resistant, the rootworm resistant, what that's done for our industry. I mean, on a scale, we were gaining about 2 bushel every year, on average of corn yields. In the last 15 years, we've been averaging over 10 or 11 bushel a year in increase in yields because of all these technology traits, how we can control, weeds, and how we can control insects. And then what it's done, we're controlling insects and weeds with non-lethal herbicides and insecticides. We're not putting organophosphates out there, skull and crossbones type products. We're using, we're using genetically modified traits that are controlling the insects, that are environmentally friendly. We're not putting pollutants on the ground. It's just really a great thing. My children don't mess around with herbicides that have skull and crossbones on them, like I did when I was younger, first started farming. Very environmentally safe, and it's really a great thing. If we didn't have large companies, we wouldn't have these technologies because they wouldn't be able to afford to develop them. Precision Planting got bought out by John Deere 2 months ago, so Monsanto don't own Precision Planting anymore. They left it as a wholly owned subsidiary, so it didn't change a lot. We had a lot of good products. It was run very well when Monsanto had it. Now that John Deere owns it, we're 2 years business as usual. The cool part of it is that there's 30 new research and development people down at Tremont, Illinois on Precision Planting. They're dumping money into research and development. They said, this is a great product. We can't compete against it. We're going to buy it. John Deere does that a lot of times. Am I worried about the John Deere dealers being Precision Planting dealers? They may someday. But I would like to be able to have a customer buy a brand new planter from John Deere. We can take off the parts when we order it. Hey, we don't need this, we don't need that. We're going to put Precision Planting on that, so they don't have to waste their money on buying it, taking it off and laying in a crate, on a brand new planter. Let's buy it Precision Planting ready. I don't think John Deere is going to take it into their own hands because John Deere or Precision Planting just signed a large contract with Case IH last year for their planters. They're working with AGCO. John Deere don't want to jeopardize those things because if they keep their equipment on John Deere planters, Case IH planters, you know, there's that huge market share that they can have a corner in and have their precision planting equipment on a lot of planters in North America. Well, and in the world, really. Precision planting's all over the world now. So, you know, John Deere owning precision planting, it's a good thing. They're putting more money in research and development, and it's business as usual.